Hello, everybody. How you doing, there, guys? Louis Beauchamp, Vice President here at Final Expense Direct. Well, today I've got the pleasure of talking with two of our senior agents, our experienced guys. All right, the hitch pins. We've got Richard. Richard, go Cougs, big boy. Here we go.
Go
All
Cougs.
right. Yeah, Richard's been with us going on, I guess, 8 years now, right, buddy? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
you've seen some changes, I'm sure. God bless you. So maybe you guys could talk about that for a little while, right?
Yeah, changes is
Shannon,
good.
my friend, I remember you when
Amen.
you just started before you got married. So we got an experienced guy, we got a young man with a baby now, and holy
Yeah.
smoke! What are you going into your 13th year, I think?
Yes, sir. And if you remember, actually, I started out as an operator for you
That's
first.
right. That's right. You started off in the lead generation department, yeah. So
Yes, sir.
you've really seen some changes go on. So
Yeah.
well, gentlemen, look, this is what we call our truth bomb. All right. So this is totally unscripted, freelance. You guys just talk about old times, good times, bad times, leads, customer service, training, culture. You guys have seen a lot of changes come and go through Final Expense over the years. So we appreciate you coming back. Y'all have fun. I'll check out and I'll be back here in a few minutes and check in on you. Y'all
All
be
right.
safe.
Thank you, Lewis.
All right.
All right. Good deal.
I do want to mention before we start, Lewis is a great marketing man. He's done a lot for this company, and I'd just like to throw in a thumbs up for Lewis. He's great guy, great guy.
Hey, I'll make you laugh. I actually worked for Lewis two different times at two different companies. I worked for Lewis here, and then I also worked for Lewis back in the days for Gene McCubbin, because I used to work for Jim and Gene McCubbin, because we used to sell websites where we used to host and search engine optimize websites for companies to drive them
Darn.
business. Yeah, it's ironic, and I don't even know if Lewis remember that, but I worked for him years ago. We were on Westheimer way back
How
in the day.
about that? Well,
Yeah.
as a whole, I tell you, starting with Mr. Kim and with this company, he's awesome. Also, he started from the ground up. You know, I started when I was traveling. I was still traveling around, and then I talked to them about just me being in one place and doing the same thing I've been doing, but helping families and getting them some life insurance policies, helping them through the whole thing. Except it helped me because I wasn't traveling every other week, and I was
Gotcha.
traveling. I'm not kidding, 300 miles. And then when I got this job, I thought, wow, and the training was good also. So that's how I started.
So you were used to going like door to door?
Well, that was way back then, but I started just doing annuities and things like that with life insurance,
Okay.
so my traveling went all the way to San Antonio, and I was in Houston.
Okay.
So
Wow.
it cut down all that time that I was traveling, all my gas mileage. And so now I'm sitting here remotely in my own home
Yeah.
doing what I love, is helping families.
So you were actually in the field.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, I was in the field. And I could have easily retired later, back then. And but this is so good. It helped me so much. It's helped my family out. That's for sure. So I love it. I love it.
Well, the funny thing about me, Mr. Kim found me when I was an operator. I was, or a quote unquote lead generator, because I used to be the, like with Donna or Patrice. I kind of did what
Uh-huh.
they did, but we like cold call leads, and then we would transfer leads to John or Arlene or people like that, because they were all the actual agents. We were just operators. And then we started out in a little bitty office where it was like four operators in one room, and then it was
Right.
Arlene and John and Mr. Kim in one room. So we would get a
Mhm.
lead, and then we would get up, write it on the paper. We'd walk down there and say, "Hey, call this person. He's ready right now." We didn't have a transfer system or nothing like that. So that was lead generating. And every time I
Oh
got a
god.
person on the phone, they were hiding. I'd say, "Hey, this person wants insurance." I'll walk down there and say, "Hey, call this person right here. They want to talk to you about insurance." And you would call them. And if it was a sale, you come back and say, "Hey, man, good lead." And that's how we
Woo.
started. So
That's
when
the
we
real old
started,
days.
yeah, it wasn't none of this transferring and all this fancy stuff we have right now. It was just us calling the person, getting the person warmed up, walking over there saying, "Hey, this person's ready." You call them and you try to finish the job.
And you've been with us for how long? Final expense?
Probably 13 to 14 years. Because when I first started,
Yeah.
it was Mr. Kim, Ty
Uh-huh.
Miller. It was Mr. Kim, Ty Miller, I want to say Arlene, and it was like 6 or 7 of them in one little bitty room. And Mr. Kim had this room, he had a kitchen, he had this
Mm-hmm.
room, and then he had customer service. And then Mr. Kim's brother was downstairs and he was doing health insurance. So they were doing health insurance in one building, and then Mr. Kim was doing life insurance in the other building upstairs.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, so you've seen it a lot. I started 8 years ago, and I've been here, and they had it pretty well together when I started 8 years
See,
ago.
you
So
saw a
yeah,
finished product when it was all
yeah.
shiny and it was all fancy. You didn't see when it started out, it was just like they was building it. It was totally
No, sir.
different.
No, I did not. You
That's
know, but
why I have loyalty to Mr. Kim, because that man is a good dude.
yes.
I don't care what nobody say.
Yep. Yep, yep. And then when I started here, they said you're going to go training for just a few days, you know, and they had a great training of people, and you know they train you very very well here. I tell you, you know, for you to be ready, you can be ready like that. Just
If
listen to
you
what they say.
let me give you a breakdown on training. I started out as an operator, so I wasn't even an agent. So Mr. Kim pulled me in the office one day and said, "Hey man," he said, "you're really
Mhm.
good." He said all the leads you transfer, he said they sell. He said, have you ever thought about being an agent or being a life insurance agent? And I said, no.
Mhm.
And he said, do you want to do it? I was like, well, I guess. And he was like, well, let me show you. He said, just follow my lead. And he sat there and walked me through the whole process. How do you think I became licensed? He sent me to a class where like it was like a 3-day class where like they send you through the training, then you go take your test. I passed my test the
Uh-huh.
first time. He sat me down, walked me through the whole system. So when you see me right now, that's because Mr. Kim put me through the process and taught me, hey, this what you do, this what you do, this what you do, this what you do, and it works.
Yes, and you know, and Mr. Kim knows how to train and encourage you at the same time, you know, and that's what keeps people going in this business in this company. You know, Final Expense Direct. I mean, the people, you know, they listen to him, and then he just fires people up to where you know you want to go do good, not only for the company but for yourself and your family. I mean, that's what we're all about, and
Yeah,
we're helping other
and it
families.
makes you feel good when you can see yourself going from one step to another step, and he's showing you, hey, if you do this, this right here happen, and you see it happen, you're like, wow, I didn't know I could do that, and before you know it, you start stepping up the ladder, and I promise you, I never knew I could make 6 figures. I never
That's
thought I could
right.
do that. I never thought in the world I
That's
could do that, but he taught
and
me the
this
process, and hey, I'm
this
sorry, go ahead.
no, this company is exactly what you're saying. Is you know if you know you put everything and listen to Mr. Kim and you're here, you know not every day because sometimes I have to have a little time off. You know whether it's going to the doctor, dentist, or things like that. But it is a six-figure income job and beyond. You know, it just it's a great company for you know. And again, I, I'm sitting right here in my own home. You know, I don't have to, I tell people all the time, I don't have to get in my car and go door to door anymore. And it's dangerous.
Well, I like to give people, a uplifting, I guess, a testimony. When I started, me and my wife were in a one-bedroom apartment, and I was catching the bus. I had 2 jobs. I worked at Gutter Max, and I worked here as operator because I wasn't making enough at one, so I had to work 2 jobs.
Yeah, right.
And Mr. Kim said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna teach you how to make enough to where you only have to work one." And then for a man to pull you to the side and say, "Hey, man, I see you working 2 jobs. Let me show you how to make more with just one." That right there is like in the Bible
Yep,
where they said you can give a man a fish or you can
that's
teach a
right.
man to fish. But if you teach a man to fish, what happens? He's good for a lifetime.
Yep.
So with training, with proper etiquette and putting forth what they teach you, you can feed yourself for a lifetime.
Yep. You got to have a little discipline, you know, but you know, work is work. And, you know, and if you show up Monday through Friday and then guess what? I enjoy my work. That's
Yeah,
what
it's not hard. That's why I tell you, it's
the,
actually not hard if you think about it. It's fun because you
once,
talk to cool
yeah.
people every day. You can
Yeah.
relate, and if you can help them, great. It feels good. And sometimes you can't help
hmm
them, but that's no problem. But at least you tried.
Yeah,
And
that's
and
right.
and and, and sometimes you leave as friends. You're like, hey man, I tried to help. It didn't work. You couldn't get approved, but hey, at least we tried. If you got anybody else in your family that needs coverage, I can help them. So
Yep. Yep.
you do what you can.
Yep, you try to leave them in a good mood, you know, and I'm sorry it wouldn't work out with you, but you know I'm gonna have to move on. And God bless you. You got my number, and call me when you need me. I'll be here, if God's willing.
Hey, it's funny you say that. I had a guy that I tried to help a couple of days ago where we didn't even do a policy, but we just had a good conversation. The guy come back and sent me an email and said, "Hey man, Shannon, I really like talking to you." He said, "Man, you just brightened my day." He said, "Thank you for just talking to me, man." The guy sent me like a whole paragraph, just complimenting just the conversation we had.
Oh wow!
Just so you never know how you can help a
You never
person,
know.
you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but I helped somebody one time, and I was so surprised. I did not help that person, but she turned me on, or somebody called me and said, "You talked to so and so," and I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, she just gave me your name and number, and told me to check you out."
That's fruit of your labor. That's fruit of your labor. Where they say when you sow a good fruit, it you know it reaps the same. Yeah,
Yes.
I bet.
Yes, and this is what this job can do. Also, it can, you know, you can get clients that you didn't know you were going to get.
And also, how many trips you take already, Ricky, Richard? How many trips have you taken?
You mean you're going to have to talk about that one, you know, because the trip that I could have been awarded to, I could have made it that at that time. But you've taken quite a few, haven't you?
Yes, that's one of the highlights of the job. Because if you do really good, man, I've been to so many countries with this job here.
Yes.
Countries I would have never seen. I've been to London, I've been to Norway, I've been to Cayman, I've been to Cancun, I've been to Dominican Republica. We were supposed to go to Buenos Aires, but the COVID came, so they just paid us a $4,000 check. Pioneer just sent everybody a $4,000 check and said, "I'm sorry, we canceled the trip, but here, take the money." So I mean that's cool. I was like, well, okay, thank you. 4,000.
I
Hey,
know.
yay.
Yeah,
Okay, that's cool.
this job, you can either, you know, sometimes you can take the trip or you can take the
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
So
Whoop, there it is.
so that's almost like free vacation
Yeah,
every year, as long as you're doing your job like you're gonna go to work anyway, Monday
yeah.
through Friday somewhere.
That's
You know?
motivation. That's why would you not be motivated to go do your job? Because, oh, matter of fact, Baltimore next year is going to Dublin, Ireland.
Oh, Dublin, Ireland.
Come on
Yes, I've
now.
been.
Who else you know going there? I'm definitely want to take that trip. That's super cool. You know?
Yeah, this is a wonderful opportunity for a lot of people, you know, and if they're willing to listen and get trained, and then you can do just as well as me or Shannon here, you know. But it's a great job. Final expense direct. You know, you can't go wrong if you're willing to do a little work.
Yep. Matter of fact, I forgot Baltimore sent us to Costa Rica last year. We went to Costa Rica. That was super cool. I don't know if you ever been there, but that was beautiful. Super beautiful.
Wow.
Man, we were sitting off in a mountain, just literally sitting in the mountain.
There's
Hey
opportunities.
boys, how we doing?
Hey, we're doing well. We're doing
All right,
well.
you guys having some fun talking?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
going from one thing to another.
Yes, sir.
You tell your whole life story up there, didn't you?
Well, we was giving a breakdown, letting them know the goods and all the things that you reap from doing really good here, because it's a lot of benefits, you know.
Yeah. Well,
Yep,
good,
the opportunities here. The opportunities here.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to do this, and we really appreciate it. I know you guys are super busy. I know Shannon, God bless you, man. You're on par, I think, to do over 500,000 this year, I think, in place premium.
Amen.
And Richard, you're just biting him right there in the rear end. So go tailgate and go get him.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for everything. We appreciate you. Get you on the phone. Y'all be safe out there. Final expense direct, Louis Beauchamp. Y'all be safe. Bye.
Thank you, Louis.